Hi everybody, it's Crystal, and today I'm going to do an update on the boys. They are 10 and a half months old right now. Whew, it just blows my mind. I cannot believe that they're 10 and a half months old. I mean, I can believe it, but I can't believe it. It still kind of feels like it was just a couple weeks ago that I had them, but it's so much time has gone by. So the last time I did an update on them, I've posted a couple videos outside of actual updates on them, but the last actual update I did was when they had just turned 8 months old, and it was kind of like a 6 and 7 month update. So a lot has happened now that they're 10 and a half months old, and I think that's another reason why I haven't had time to do an update with work and just taking care of two active twins. Whew, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but it's so fantastic. Like man, my life is so great now. I feel like, my life was good before the boys got here, but now it's just so much better and so fulfilling and so tiring, and it's so many things, but it feels great to have an opportunity to feel all these things. So they are 10 and a half months old. I took them in October to their 9-month checkup, and they were doing fantastic. They were right where the doctor feels that they should be. Armor was weighing 19 pounds 3 ounces, and Ronan was weighing 18 pounds 4 ounces, which now means that Armor weighs more than Ronan. And it's kind of funny because Ronan actually weighed more than Armor did at birth. Ronan was 6 pounds 2 ounces, and Armor was, did I just say Armor? Ronan was 6 pounds 2 ounces. Armor was 4 pounds 13 ounces. So now Armor has surpassed Ronan, which is funny, but Ronan is still taller than Armor. Ronan is 29 inches long, and Armor was 28 and a half. And I actually feel that Ronan was 29, or I actually feel like he might have been like 29 and a half or 29 and a quarter. He was really wiggly on the table, and I feel like he was just a tiny bit taller than she actually scored him as. So, but anyways, they're doing great. They are, they sleep in their cribs every night. Although I will say that Ronan in the last month I don't know, I haven't really looked at it to see if there was a sleep regression around this time frame, but he's been having some trouble sleeping at night. Been waking up a lot, needing mama, and it's been a little tough. He's just I don't know how to explain it. It's he just wakes up and fusses and needs comfort, and then he'll go back to sleep, and then he'll wake up and go back to sleep. But he's actually done better the last couple nights, and I guess maybe also part of this reason that I'll get to that he's been having sleep troubles because they were sick, and I'll get to that in a little bit. But so yeah, they are sleeping well outside of Ronan's little thing. Armor sleeps like a rock. I mean, he sleeps just like I do. When I sleep, I fall out. I'm down. I'm gone to the world. I'm dead. It's just so funny how much he's like me. And Josh is not a great sleeper. So Ronan, I guess, is just really not a great sleeper like his dad. That's what it is, I think. So Armor sleeps great. They go down, they're in bed by 9 o'clock usually. About 8:30 is whenever it's kind of like, we'll either put them down at 8:30 or it's between 8:30 and 9. And they're usually almost asleep by 9 o'clock. And then Armor usually doesn't wake up till about 7:30. Sometimes he'll sleep till 8. Ronan will usually wake up earlier than that, and I'll have already gotten him, and he will come and be snuggling with me in bed or on the couch. I'll come in here and we'll snuggle on the couch together. So so that's on the sleeping thing. Eating wise, they are eating tons of baby food. I wish I had time to make my own food. I really do. I had such grand plans before they were born of all these natural, organic, kind of crunchy things that I was going to be doing, and I really haven't done most of those things. And it's just hard, it depends on your schedules and things like that, and it's just tough. So I don't make their food, but I do, we do feed them now 3 times a day. They have actual food 3 times a day. And I had posted on my Facebook page back in October of what everybody's feeding schedules were, because we were just kind of doing baby food once a day. And then we would do bottles and things like that. And so a lot of people commented on my Facebook post for my Redhead Files Facebook page. And I just want to say thank you for commenting and telling me your schedules and what you do and your tips and tricks and things like that. Because I really did. I read all that day. I read all the comments and I like absorbed everything. I went to the grocery store and got different types of foods and things like that. So now they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They usually eat like yogurt and oatmeal in the mornings and then have a bottle. Or they'll have a bottle, 8 ounces when they first wake up, by 8 o'clock, and then around 9 o'clock they have yogurt and oatmeal, and then like at 9:30 they take a nap, and then they'll wake back up, and then they'll eat lunch. I always feed them at 12. Josh sometimes I think he feeds them at 11 or 11:30, depending on their how their day is going. And so at lunch they have like vegetable and fruit. And we're just doing pureed baby foods at this point. Armor is starting to get to the point where he's putting things in his mouth and starting to kind of feed himself. Ronan will not have it. He will, if we left food there for Ronan to eat, he would starve because he would not touch it. I mean, it took forever just to get him to start eating baby food. So, I can give little crunchies and things like that to Armor, and cookies, little baby cookies and finger foods, and he'll eat it. And he'll come over to us when we're eating and kind of like want something off of our plate, so we'll kind of share a little bit with him. So he's eating great. I mean, he eats great. He's like me, he eats like me. And so Ronan is way more picky about his food intake. He loves his milk and he loves his fruits. He likes his vegetables, but he's very particular in what he wants to go inside of his body. So it sometimes can be tough getting Ronan to eat, especially if he's, not feeling well or anything like that. And that's how it's been this past week. So food-wise, they're doing really great as well. Let's see, what else? Oh, so Ronan, as some of you know, if you're new to my channel and you don't know, Ronan had plagiocephaly and torticollis at birth. And plagiocephaly is just where the head shape is either really flat or really round, or there's just some, the head shape is not looking so great, is really what it comes down to. And he also had torticollis, which was his neck muscles didn't grow, weren't strong enough. Not that they didn't grow, but they didn't grow very strong. And the way he was positioned in the womb, he was kind of like this. And so it stretched out one side of his neck muscles and the other side was really short. So he was tilted and this way, at birth. So he is officially done wearing his helmet. He wore it for 15 weeks. I think it was 15 weeks. 15 or 13, I can't remember. I think it was 15. So he wore the helmet 23 hours a day. And now we see so much we've seen so much progress that the doctor, we actually had his appointment last Monday, and we did a rescan, like a 3D scan, so she could measure his head shape again and see how well it corrected. And it was huge improvement. Now there's only a 3.5 millimeter difference in this. I don't even know how to start explaining it to you. I should have gotten my pictures. I would have shown you. Maybe I'll do that in another video. So he's done with his helmet and we are excited about that. It's great to see his little head all the time now. The first couple days it was really weird feeding him. I'm like, who are you? Who's this kid? Where did you come from? I guess, we just didn't realize how much you don't see of him, when he's got the helmet on. And so it's great to be able to rub his head and kiss his head all the time and play with his hair. And so we can definitely tell his mood has changed too. He seems to be very happy that he doesn't have it anymore. Not that he was unhappy with it, but we can tell a mood kind of change in him. So that's been really great. He has one more physical therapy appointment in December, and that's most likely going to be his last one, because at the last appointment, he wasn't yet crawling. He was almost there. It did take Ronan a while to roll over, and just certain physical activities. He was a little more delayed in because of the torticollis, and because some people don't realize that torticollis, it doesn't just affect the neck of the child. It really can hinder like an entire side of their body. with movement. And so, we were going to physical therapy every single week for months. And then in the last 2 months, he started going every other week. And now this last time it was a 3-week break in between. So he's almost done. It's great. I'm going to miss it. I'm going to miss Radhika. She is his physical therapist, and she has been fantastic with him and with me. And, we've done a lot of exercises at home on a daily basis. We don't do as much of them anymore because there's no need, but we were doing exercises at home with him every single day to try to help him get to, where he needed to be. And so, yep, it's going to be the last appointment. I'm not going to know what to do with myself. I feel like the first part of their lives, that midsection of their lives with Ronan, there was just a, doctor's appointment every week, sometimes 2. And so now it'll be nice to not have to go to so many doctor's appointments. And not that I'm saying that it was a burden or anything like that. I'm just saying that it'll be great that we won't have to do that every week. And, with being a full-time working mom, every amount of time that you have is, very important. And running around town, going to doctor's appointments and things like that, it'll just be nice to not have to do that anymore and to just have our whole days together to spend, the boys and I whenever I'm off. So I'm really excited and I'm proud of Ronan. He's done so great. Physically, he is where he needs to be now. Armor started crawling, or is in physical therapy. Crawling is actually called creeping. They're creeping. It's funny. We always laugh at it in physical therapy. So Armor started crawling about a month and a half ago, maybe. It might be a month and a half or just a month, somewhere in between that time. That's Armor started crawling, and he is everywhere now. And now he pulls up on everything. He pulls up along the couch. He walks all along the couch. He lets go and stands there for a little bit. So I really feel that by the end of the year, he's going to be walking. Ronan also just last week actually started to crawled for the first time. And so now he is pulling up on everything. He was ready to pull up before the crawling. We were just kind of laughing and joking, saying that he was probably going to walk before he crawled. So now that he's been able to crawl, he's mobile. He's up, scooting along the couch and pulling up on everything. They pull up on us. It's just crazy to see how active and mobile they are. I feel like it's happened so fast, even though before they were crawling, it felt like it was going to be forever before they'd start crawling. So it's crazy. They're doing so great. They're interacting so much together now. Their personalities are totally, their personalities were set once they were born. It's just took us a while to get to know their personalities. But, they're very individual little guys, and they're starting to interact a lot more with each other now. They chatter at each other. They crawl, it's just interesting. And I feel like the interaction amongst themselves has really intensified over the last couple weeks. I just noticed them really looking at each other and playing and fighting over things, and they'll they'll be on the floor and one will have a toy and the other one will come over to try to take it, and it's just this little battle, and then tears, and it's just so great. It's so much fun to be their mom. I really feel like the luckiest girl in the world that I have these little dudes in my life. Josh and I are. And Josh, he's so in love with them, and they are so in love with him. He can be in the house and come around the corner, and they just light up when they see him. It melts my heart. It makes me so happy that we, can give them as much love as we can give them, and they're just really happy kids. They're happy babies. They have their fussy times. They have their moments where they fuss, and Ronan with the sleeping thing this last month has been tough, but it's so worth it. It really, really is. I don't know how to, I don't know how more to express that. It's so amazing. It's hard and it's tiring and it's exhausting, but it's absolutely the most intriguing adventure of my life that I'm on right now. Every day is different. Every day is the same, yet every day is different. New things are happening, but it's kind of the same thing. You're taking care of babies, and you're making sure they don't hurt themselves and that they eat food and they go to the bathroom and all of that stuff. So it's it's great. It really is great. I'm trying to think of other things I could say. So I don't think I have anything else to say. They're going to be turning 1 in January. And I can't believe that they're going to turn 1. I really, really can't. I am already starting to mentally try to plan for their birthday, like what I want to do, how I'm going to do this, and when it's going to be. And I started looking online for invitations and thinking about, getting their pictures taken. And do I do a smash cake? Do I do this? It's a lot to think about, It really is, but I'm excited. I'm excited for them to turn 1. I feel like I said earlier, I think Arma's going to be walking. I'm pretty certain that they'll both be walking by their birthday. I really hope that they are. I think that they are. I will be off for Thanksgiving, and we're going to spend it with our families, of course. And then I am going to work Christmas morning. And I'm going to work Christmas morning just because the boys are not going to be old enough this year to know that I wasn't there first thing in the morning to do Christmas with them. So, we'll do Christmas when I get off work around 3 o'clock. And, we'll do that at home. And then we'll probably go and spend Christmas with our families that live here locally. So it's exciting. The holidays are coming, and it's fun. It's fun that the boys are at the age that they are at right now to go through the holiday season. I'm really excited about Thursday because I'm going to give Armor some mashed potatoes and some turkey, just like a little bit, not like it's not going to be crazy, but I'm just excited because he's very interested in food. So it's going to be exciting to see him, kind of try some different things he's never had before. Ronan will just say, peace, I'll stick to my bottle, give me some fruit, I'll be good. So yeah, that's it. I think that's it for my update. If you guys have any questions, I feel like there's something that I was going to talk about that it's like right there in my head and I can't think of it. Damn. Oh, I know what I was going to say. They're sick right now. The boys have officially caught their first cold. A couple months back, Ronan had a fever for 2 days, but he wasn't really sick. He didn't have anything else going on, just had a fever. But this is their first actual sickness. So I'm really proud, and I'm really thankful and grateful that I was able to breastfeed those first 2.5 months, because I feel like I was able to give them, protection and antibodies against getting sick, because, getting sick at 10.5 months old, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. I'm proud as a mom. Not that they're sick, but that they haven't been sickly. So I actually took them to the doctor today. I called this morning and made an appointment. I was kind of worried that Arma might have had an ear infection because he kind of kept pulling at his ear. But I took them both in and she checked them out, and she said, it's a cold for sure. She could hear congestion in Arma's lungs. They're snotty and boogery and just, not feeling their greatest. So she looked over them and listened to their chests and everything and said, just keep them hydrated. Obviously if their temperature goes above 100, not 100, if their temperature gets really high and it, is not resolved with children's Tylenol or anything like that, obviously call. So, we started on Tuesday, they got sick. That's when Ronan first started showing signs of being sick. So we went and got, I got Highland's Tiny Cough and Cold. It's like a cough syrup. And then we got some children's Motrin, and we turned the humidifier on in their bedroom. We turned that on in their room, and, I bought Pedialyte. They have been not wanting to drink very much milk at all. So it's, the sickness has not been fun. They've been very clingy, very fussy and cuddly, but on the other side to that, they're cuddly. And so, when they're not feeling well, they just want to be on you. And so you can kind of snuggle them. So yeah, they're on the mend. They're just not quite there yet. I just hope that it doesn't progress and turn into, any sort of anything else, which I'm hoping it doesn't. So yeah, that was my last thing that I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to say that they were sick. So yeah, I think that's it. I'm sure this video is kind of long. I'm certain that it's kind of long. So I will go ahead and end here.